Our religion, it has got lost in translation. There are some high-valued men in the Bible that had a lot of favor from God by having multiple wives and multiple concubines. So you can't sit up here and say you want a man of God and not acknowledge the fact that, oh, in this society it's socially accepted. But in the Bible, when you talk about David, when you talk about Solomon, the the wisest person in all of earth, he had the most wives anybody has ever had and concubines. And David, when David was in battle, he would go back to not only to save his wives, but to go back and protect his concubines.
You know, King David had multiple women, and you know, and Abraham and Israel, and you know, he didn't name all those names, but he named multiple men in the Bible. But it's true. I have never had one woman my entire life, and people have told me that something is wrong with me. If you let America tell you.
For this full video and many other exclusive member-only videos.
So we had conversations before, you know, when it comes to the Bible, when it comes to polygamy in the Bible, you know, which was, you know, over 2,000 years old, and now here in the well, we'll say here in America, like, you know, we're more monogamous, you know, not just here but all the whole world is majority monogamous and everything. And when people look at polygamy, you know, people look at it as weird, you know, like it's very, very we don't need that no more. Or people that still do a polygamy, you know, people, you know, weird and everything, but you know, people can practice, you know, wherever they want to practice and everything. And you know, polygamy is still is like I said, polygamy now, you know, it's still getting talked about with some more. And you know, we might, you know, you never know, you might change, you might see in the future. But hey, man, let's talk about it. So go ahead, Ronnie, man. What's your take about polygamy? Can we see more of it in the future?
Yes. And I think a lot of people are grasping to the idea of what Cam Newton was talking about. 'Cause a lot of people are now doing the research and finding that polygamy is not bad. Polygamy and also polyandry. People are realizing, like, right now, a lot of people are in multiple relationships. Some people have two boyfriends. Some guys have two girlfriends. So it's the same aspect of polygamy. Now, when it comes to the concept of the Bible, majority of the time when you see a man who was polygamous, majority of the time they had money. They were kings. There was kings, or it was in some form of leadership role, or they women themselves will bring a woman to them so they can mate, so they can have children to bring on that to keep on that lineage, like a longer generation, a longer family extension. Because sometimes the woman was barren, so she couldn't have a child, so she would bring another woman within the relationship, so the husband would lay with that woman, and then they will have a child. Situation goes on and on and on and on and on. Polygamy is not new. It's been going on for centuries. Not only that, even in the black community, at some point they had it. I'm not talking about in America. I'm just talking about overseas. So, and also in the white community as well. So it's just that I think we live in a society today that it looks bad, like it looks foreign, when the actuality is not. If people just do their research, you will find out that some people are live good lives doing being in a polygamous relationship. Like the guy stated, or when he was doing his small little commentary, he was talking about how he dated multiple women. He'll let the women know, like, hey, there's another woman in the relationship. So it's how you want it. And Cam Newton is practicing lifestyle, because you see that he dating a lot of multiple women. So he has the money to do so. So to me, if you have the money, go right ahead, because you do need resources to be able to have two women at one time. I'm just speaking facts. Go ahead, Akeem.
So let me tell you why I have an issue with this. You have a lot of these guys sometimes who will read the Bible and weaponize it to serve a purpose or an ideology. Yes, there were guys in the Bible that practiced polygamy. Very few. Very few. There's a lot of other guys in the Bible that had monogamous relationships. I have nothing wrong with polygamy when it's applied the right way. But let's be honest with you. The everyday average American man would not be able to do polygamy. You can't afford it. Polygamy in its own right, where you paying for the concubines and you paying for the wife, where they live, how they eat, and doing everything. Who's making that kind of money? You know what I mean? And also assess for how these people live in their lives. In African countries, yes, it might make sense. somebody who owns 40 acres of land, owns a house, and has this, yes, he could be a polygamist. He might be able to take care of a bunch of kids. They're eating and stuff off the land. And a lot of women who's living in poverty will have a place to sleep. She goes and she works. Here in America, no, you can't be polygamous. This is why when people start breaking down polyamorous and all these other little weird terms of, excuse me, of having women, these guys are not taking care of these people. They're just sleeping with them. The average man only makes $40,000, and as inflation goes, dating costs a little bit more. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? And most women want things, and you're not going to be able to provide that on the cess of other stuff.
Yeah, that's true, Rakeem. But like I said, if you look around the world, here in the United States, you go to China, if you go to Australia, whatever, majority of the world, we live in monogamy. Why? Because it's working, and it's always been working for thousands and thousands of years. When it comes to polygamy, which it's still practiced in some areas in the world. It's all about if you matter. I'll say not just about money, but can you have more than two people in your household, which a lot of people, when it comes to America, a lot of people can't do. A lot of people really can't handle one woman in general. So my thing is, it's like, if you think about doing polygamy and you can't handle one woman, why you think you can handle two women? For what I'm saying, there are a lot of people that talk about polygamy and practice polygamy as well. So, or I mean, try to practice polygamy as well. It's like, I'm gonna try this, but the thing is, it's like not only your finances is not right, when it comes to you having two women, you can't, being a leader, you can't, just lead one. You can't even lead one woman. You can't even lead one woman. And the thing is, it's like, if you can't lead one woman, how can you lead two? And that's why, when it comes here in America, we talk about it. But the thing is, a lot of people are not ready for it. Not just like, or not. You might have the finances for it, but mentally, you're not ready for it. A lot of people are not ready for it. They talk a good while they think they can do it, but when it comes to having the two women, you can have two women that might be your girlfriends and everything. But if you talk about being about polygamy, having them in your household and everything, that's a lot. When it comes to a marriage, having one woman, it's a lot. So when it comes to polygamy, can it work for some people? Sure. If you had the money, sure. If you had the mindset to do it, sure. If you could plan it out well, if you're a great leader, sure. But I agree with Hakeem when it comes to most of our people here in America. Not even the money wise, you got to have that type of mindset that you can lead, two women at the time, because, just having one woman in your household, it could be a lot. I'm a single person that's married, who's in a very good marriage and everything. Sometimes, like I said, it could be a lot, especially if you have kids. I'm just letting you guys know. So, all this polygamy chitter chatter, cool. It's cool to talk about and everything, but